Hey guys, tonight we're diving deep into the entire story of Greek mythology, but with that bedtime history twist to help you unwind and drift off. Did you know that before there was anything before Earth, sky, or even time itself, there was just chaos? A yawning void so vast it swallowed everything, including the very idea of beginnings. Shocking, right? No Big Bang, no creator waving a wand, just pure nothingness birthing the cosmos. Like the ultimate plot twist in a horror novel where the monster is nothing at all. What if you were floating there right now? No ground under your feet, no light to guide you. Would you scream into the silence, or just let it pull you under? Tease you with this. The empty start hides a family drama so twisted, it makes modern soap operas look tame, leading to gods who act like petty influencers fighting for likes. Drop a comment below what's the wildest family secret you've heard, and how does it stack up to divine betrayal? Let's see those stories light up the chat. Welcome back to all my night owls and sleepy explorers tuning in from around the globe. If you're new here, this channel is all about those soothing dives into history that double as your perfect wind-down ritual. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. Let me know where you're watching from and what time it is where you are. I love seeing how far this sleepy little time machine reaches. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. Imagine this. You're adrift in an endless expanse, no up or down, just a chilling void that presses in on all sides. That's chaos for you, not the frantic mess of a busy day in rush hour traffic, but a gaping nothingness, colder than a winter night in the American Midwest during the Great Depression, when folks felt swallowed by emptiness too. Your skin prickles with the icy texture of absolute absence, like frost creeping over bare arms, and the silence is so profound it rings in your ears, a high-pitched whine that makes you squirm in discomfort. No stars wink above, no ground crunches underfoot. It's as if you're suspended in a black ocean, waves of shadow lapping at your senses without a single ripple to break the monotony. You feel a twinge of unease bubbling up. Why does this feel so familiar? Like those moments when life's uncertainties leave you floating, untethered. But hold on, because here's where the absurdity kicks in. Out of this self-made void chaos birthing itself with no parents, no backstory, like a rags-to-riches entrepreneur in colonial America, bootstrapping an empire from barren wilderness, comes the first sparks of existence. Picture it vividly. A faint tremor ripples through the dark, and suddenly, Gaia emerges, the earth herself, vast and unshaking. You sense her rising beneath you, her surface a rich, loamy texture under imagined fingertips, smelling of fresh-turned soil after a spring rain, green and fertile like the untamed prairies that drew settlers westward in search of hope. Yet there's an ironic edge here, the Great Mother, solid and nurturing, born from nothing, only to face her own trials. It's almost laughable, isn't it? The universe's first self-made millionaire, but instead of building fortunes, she's crafting mountains and seas, all while you hover there, feeling the pull of her gravity easing your initial discomfort into a strange chill, like sinking into a cool bed after a long day. And then, as if chaos couldn't resist adding more layers to the irony, Gaia doesn't stop at self-creation. From her own essence springs Uranus, the sky, arching over her like a star-strewn dome. You can almost feel the shift. The cold void warms slightly with his presence, the air thickening with the crisp scent of ozone before a storm, his vast form textured like velvet night sky brushing against your skin. But here's the debate that historians love to chew on. Did the Greeks pull this chaos concept straight from older tales, like the Babylonian Enuma Elish epic, where creation starts in a watery abyss? It's like how American folklore borrowed from native and European roots, blending into something new yet familiar. You ponder that as you float between them, discomfort fading into a reflective calm. If myths are borrowed and remixed, what does that say about our own stories, the ones we tell to make sense of the chaos in our lives? As Gaia and Uranus unite, the world takes its first shaky breath. You sense the union's force, a deep, rumbling vibration through your core, like distant thunder echoing in your chest. Their children, the Titans, begin to stir, elemental giants with power that could reshape realities. But irony creeps in again, Uranus, this grand sky father, turns paranoid, shoving his monstrous offspring, the one-eyed cyclops with their forge-hot gazes, the 100-handed hecatonchires flailing like living storms back into Gaia's womb. You feel her groan, a low, earthy rumble that vibrates through you, the discomfort returning as an empathetic ache in your gut. It's absurd. Really, the sky god, vast as the heavens, trembling at his own kids like a colonial landowner fearing uprising from the very workers he exploits. Smell the metallic tang of fear in the air, texture of rock and grief sealing those depths. Yet in this budding family feud, there's a motif that whispers through the void, the river Lethe, the stream of forgetfulness that one day will flow in the underworld. For now, it's just a tease, a recurring echo. Imagine dipping your toes into its cool, forgetful waters, letting the initial terror of chaos slip away, leaving only a chill relaxation. You reflect on that as Gaia schemes in silence, her pain a sensory weight pressing on you, building a quiet irony gods acting so humanly petty, mirroring our own family squabbles during tough times like the Depression, when survival meant tough choices. As the void starts to fill with form, you can't help but chuckle inwardly at the sarcasm of it all, a universe born from nothing, kick-starting with betrayal and birth pangs, much like how America's frontier myths glorify hardship while hiding the horror. Feel the texture of emerging land under your phantom feet, solid yet deceptive, smelling of potential and peril. Discomfort lingers, that initial fear of the unknown twisting into ironic amusement. Why do gods, these supposed immortals, mirror our flaws so perfectly it's almost comforting, knowing even the cosmos started messy? And as Uranus descends night after night, pressing down with his starry weight, you sense the building tension, the cold discomfort evolving into a chill acceptance. Gaia's fertile earth warms slightly under your imagined touch, but the void's echo remains, a reminder of Lethe's promise. Forget the chaos, let it fade like a bad dream. You're easing into this journey, the irony softening the edges, empathy for these primal forces growing as you reflect maybe our own starts, chaotic as they are, hold the seeds of something greater. The titans wait in the wings, their elemental might humming like a distant storm. But for now, breathe in the ozone-scented air, feel the void's chill recede, and let that discomfort dissolve into peaceful curiosity. What comes next in this divine drama, stick around, because the family secrets are just beginning to unravel, as that chill from chaos starts to settle into your bones, like the fading echo of a distant storm. Let's keep drifting deeper into this ancient tapestry. You've just felt Gaia rising solid and real beneath you, a comforting ground after the void's dizzying pull. But hold on, things are about to get a bit more familial, in the messiest way possible. Ever wonder how the universe's first power couple could turn so toxic so fast? Picture this, you're right there, embedded in Gaia's warm, earthy embrace, her surface pulsing like a heartbeat under your feet. The air thickens with the scent of damp soil and budding life, textured like fresh clay moulding in your hands, as she begins to bring forth her children not with gentle cradles, but with raw seismic force. Feel it now. A low rumble builds in your chest, vibrating through your ribs like the groan of an old wooden floor in a colonial American homestead during a harsh winter. That's Gaia laboring. Her body, the vast landscape shuddering as the titans emerge one by one. These aren't cute babies cooing in the night. They're colossal beings, elemental and overwhelming, like the towering redwoods of early California that immigrants gazed upon in awe and fear. Okeanos, the encircling river, flows out with a rushing sound that echoes in your ears, cool and relentless. Hyperion, Lord of Light, bursts forth with a blinding glow that stings your eyes, his form radiating heat like a summer sun beating down on Dust Bowl farms during the Great Depression. Then Coeus, the Inquirer, sharp and probing. Creus, bearer of constellations, twinkling like forbidden stars. Iapetus, ancestor of men, solid and foreboding. And Cronus, the youngest, cunning as a fox in frontier tales, his eyes already scheming in the dim light. But Gaia's womb doesn't stop at these 6 sons and 6 daughters. Thea, shining like dawn. Rhea, wise and pained. Themis, law embodied. Mnemosyne, memory's keeper. Phoebe, radiant. Tethys, nourishing sea. No, she birthed the monstrous too, the ones that make your skin crawl with increasing discomfort. The Cyclops' first Brontes, Steropes, Arges, each with a single eye burning like a forge in their massive brows. The heat from those orbs warming your face uncomfortably, smelling of molten iron and sweat. You can almost hear the clang of future hammers in their gaze, these smiths of lightning, strong and unyielding. Then the Hecatonchires, the 100-handed ones, Briareus, Cottus, Gaia's enormous horrors with 50 heads snarling in chaos, 100 arms flailing like a whirlwind of limbs, their skin rough as bark, the air around them whipping with the whoosh of endless motion. Visualizing them makes you shift uneasily, that irony hitting hard. These are kids, born of love, yet twisted into nightmares that could topple empires. Here's where the sarcasm creeps in. Folks Uranus, this vast sky dad arching over everything like a smug CEO in a boardroom, looks down and freaks out. Too ugly, too strong, he thinks, as if he's judging a talent show gone wrong. He shoves them right back into Gaia's belly, sealing them under layers of rock and grief, like burying scandals in a family business. You feel Gaia's pain now, a deep, aching pressure in your own core, her rumbles turning to agonized moans that vibrate through you, the discomfort building as irony layers on the god of the heavens, infinite and starry, terrified of his own offspring uprising against him. It's almost funny, in a dark way, like a boss fearing his entry-level employees might one day take over the company. Modern folks might compare it to those immigrant stories from Ellis Island, where new arrivals were crammed into tenements, oppressed by the very system that promised freedom, their potential squashed under Empire's boot. But let's debate this tidbit. Shall we historians argue whether Uranus's fear mirrors real ancient power struggles, like the Persian Wars where Greek underdogs pushed back against invading tyrants, or if it's borrowed from older Mesopotamian myths where sky gods hoard control? Either way, it adds that ironic twist divine flaw on full display, gods acting pettier than humans during the American Revolution, when colonists rebelled against a distant king hoarding power. You empathize with Gaia here, don't you? Like a mother in the Great Depression, birthing hope amid hardship, only to see it locked away. Her fertile scent turns sour with betrayal, the texture of her soil cracking under the weight, making you wince in shared sorrow. As the Titans stand tall, those 6 brothers and sisters, vast as mountains, their forms casting long shadows that cool your skin, you sense the family tension thickening. Okeanos coils like a serpent river, his waters murmuring secrets. Hyperion's light flickers mockingly, highlighting the irony of a father fearing his kids' shine. You poll this lightly in the comments. Would you side with Gaia in her brewing rebellion, or play it safe like the hesitant Titans drop your vote? It's like choosing teams in a historical underdog tale. The motif of Lethe whispers again, that river of forgetfulness teasing from the edges. Imagine sipping its waters to erase the pain of birth, letting the discomfort of these monstrous arrivals fade into chill oblivion, much like forgetting a tough day's grind before bed. Yet empathy pulls you deeper for Gaia, immigrant-like in her endurance, birthing a new world while Uranus looms, his starry blanket now feeling oppressive, textured like heavy wool scratching your skin. Visuals sharpen Titans looming gigantic, their skin etched with ancient runes glowing faintly, Cyclopa's single eyes flaring like embers in a dying fire, casting red hues, Hecatonchire's arms waving in frenzied chaos, a blur of motion that dizzies you further. The irony builds your discomfort gods, supposed perfection, reduced to family squabbles that echo our own flawed histories. As Gaia's groans intensify, you feel the empathy swell, her pain a mirror to those who built America from nothing, oppressed yet resilient. The air grows heavier, scented with Earth's defiance, and you reflect. Maybe forgetting isn't always the answer. Sometimes remembering fuels the fight. But for now, in this bedtime haze, let the irony soften into empathy, easing you toward the rebellion ahead. As that empathy for Gaia lingers in your chest like a warm ember fighting the chill of her buried pain, let's lean into the rebellion brewing beneath the surface. You felt her groans, those deep rumbles echoing the hardships of folks scraping by in the Dust Bowl. birthing hope amid despair. But now, the irony sharpens Gaia, the nurturing Earth Mother, turning to vengeance. It's like watching a quiet homemaker in colonial times snap under the weight of tyranny, plotting in the shadows. Feel the shift. The ground under you firms up, textured like cracked clay baking in the sun, as her scheme takes root, pulling you deeper into this divine drama where gods play dirty, and empathy starts to mix with a creeping discomfort at the violence ahead. You're there, embedded in Gaia's vast form, her soil now pulsing with quiet fury, the air heavy with the musty scent of hidden depths, like damp cellars where revolutionaries whispered plans during the American Revolution. She can't take it anymore, Uranus descending night after night, pressing his starry weight down, sealing her monstrous children away in her womb. You sense her agony intensifying, a psychological chill spreading through your veins, cold as forgotten promises, making you shiver inwardly. The irony deepens here. This cosmic couple, meant to create harmony, devolving into betrayal faster than a frontier alliance crumbling under greed. Academic folks debate this endlessly. Does Gaia's rebellion mirror the real ancient Greek wars against Persian invaders, where underdogs rose against oppressors, or is it a twisted echo of older Egyptian tales of sky gods clashing with earth? Either way, it hints at a twist, violence birthing beauty, a cycle that might make you ponder your own grudges. Do they ever truly fade, or just mutate into something sharper? Feel your hands now, phantom fingers curling around something jagged and unyielding, a great sickle fashioned from Gaia's own flint, sharp as truth and cold to the touch, its edge biting into your palms like the sting of injustice. She crafts it from her flesh, the process a low hum vibrating through you, smelling of sparked stone and raw determination, like blacksmiths forging tools in early American settlements amid whispers of revolt. You hand it off to her Titan sons, one by one turning away in fear, Okeanos coiling back like a wary river, Hyperion dimming his light, but Cronus, the shrewd youngest, steps forward with watchful eyes. "I'll do it," he says, his voice a rumble that echoes in your ears, deepening the irony, the baby of the family, overlooked like an underdog inventor in the Industrial Revolution, grabbing the blade with steady hands. Emerging empathy tugs at you for him, weakest yet boldest, mirroring those who rose from nothing in tough times. The trap sets, and you're caught in the tension, heart pounding with a physical chill as Uranus descends once more, his vast body arching over Gaia like a smothering blanket of stars, textured like prickly wool against your skin. The air grows thick, scented with the ozone of impending storm, your discomfort mounting as shadows lengthen. From the darkness, Cronus springs, sickle flashing in a swift arc. You feel the swing in your own arms, the resistance of flesh giving way, a horrifying squelch that turns your stomach. Blood sprays, hot and metallic, splashing like rain on parched Depression-era fields. The smell tangy and overwhelming, mutating the Lethe motif instead of forgetting. This vengeance demands remembrance, a psychological chill washing over you as Uranus's cry shakes the heavens, a wail-like wind howling through abandoned barns. But here's the absurd twist hint that might make you chuckle darkly amid the discomfort. From that severed source cast into the foaming sea rises Aphrodite, goddess of love and desire, stepping ashore on Cyprus in impossible beauty. Visuals flood your mind. White froth, crimson-tinged bubbling up, her form radiant and serene, skin glowing like polished pearl, hair cascading in waves that smell of salt and blooms. Irony hits hard violence, birthing the epitome of allure, like how America's bloody revolution spawned ideals of freedom and romance. You empathize with the paradox, feeling a chill empathy for Gaia. Her pain creates something exquisite, yet the cycle spins on, and from the blood droplets on Earth the Furies emerge, cloaked in shadow and vengeance, their wings whispering like dry leaves, eyes burning red as they haunt Oathbreakers. Giants rise, towering forms crashing through soil, Melia nymphs of ash trees, guardians with bark-like skin textured rough under your touch, their groves umbrageous and green, smelling of wild sap. Uranus retreats wounded into the heavens, his curse ringing out, "As I fell by my son, so shall he by his," a prophecy that chills you to the core, psychological weight pressing like unseen chains. You reflect on it. Irony deepening gods cursing their own bloodline, echoing family feuds in modern aside like inheritance battles in American dynasties, where wealth mutates into poison. Academic uncertainty lingers here. Some scholars argue this curse draws from Hittite myths of skyfathers dethroned, blending cultures like waves in the melting pot of early US, immigration. Ponder this intriguing question as you sink deeper. If curses are just echoes of fear, what family patterns in your own life might you break tonight, letting Lethe wash them away for a peaceful sleep? The world breathes freer now, sky no longer crushing earth, but the chill remains. Your empathy emerging stronger for Gaia as victor yet scarred. Visuals sharpen, bot bien joruk doi mat troi moi, furies bei luon trong bong toi, claws glinting, nymphs ash trium tum, leaves rustling secrets. Feel the texture of vengeance cooling on your skin, like blood drying to a flaky crust, discomfort blending with ironic amusement gods. So powerful, yet so predictably flawed. As Cronus claims the throne, wrapping himself in power, you sense the irony mutate liberation turning to new tyranny, empathy for the fallen mixing with wariness for what's next. The Lethe motif whispers again, promising to forget this blood-soaked start, but you hold on to the reflection, a chill calm settling as the cycle hints at more twists ahead. With that curse from Uranus hanging in the air like a storm cloud you can't quite shake, echoing in your mind as a psychological chill that prickles your neck. Let's ease into what comes next. You've just felt the sickle's bite, the blood's hot spray mutating into unexpected beauty with Aphrodite's rise. But now the world exhales, the sky lifting freer without Uranus's crushing weight. Irony thickens here. Doesn't it, Cronus, the liberator underdog, steps onto the throne he bloodied, wrapping himself in power like a cloak that's already starting to fray at the edges. You sense the shift, a tentative warmth spreading through the earth. Gaia's groans fading into a hushed relief, but empathy emerges for her lingering scars, mirroring those quiet moments after a family blow-up when the silence feels heavier than the fight. You're living it now, immersed in this so-called golden age under Cronus's rule. The air sweet with ripened fruits that need no hand to harvest, textured like velvet petals brushing your skin as you wander endless fields. No ploughs scar the soil, no winters bite with frost. It's a paradise where mortals newly shaped from clay, fragile like Depression-era dreamers chasing the American dream roam free from toil. Their laughter a soft hum in your ears. Smell the abundance honeyed figs bursting on the tongue, wild grains swaying golden under eternal sun, no scent of sweat or scarcity. But here's the deepening irony that tugs at you with a chill amusement. This utopia, painted in poets' songs as flawless, hides a rotten core. Cronus, the cunning son who toppled his dad, now rules with a suspicious heart. His throne a gilded trap. It's almost laughable, the king of a perfect world, yet haunted by the very curse he fulfilled. Like a modern billionaire hoarding wealth while fearing his kids might squander it all, turning paradise into a paranoid illusion. Feel the psychological chill deepen as you witness his marriage to Rhea, his sister, a union of gentle strength and hidden sorrow. Their rule ushers in peace. No wars rage, no kings build armies or walls, justice walks unseen, doors unlocked under starlit skies. You stroll through it, feet sinking into soft grass that springs back resiliently. The air balmy like a summer evening in the heartland, where families once gathered on porches during better times. Mortals live long, untouched by age or grief, dying like falling asleep under a quilt of clouds. But academic uncertainty creeps in here. Some scholars debate if this golden age was pure myth or echoed real prehistoric harmony, like the idealized Native American societies before colonial disruption, blending peace with underlying tensions. Either way, it hints at a twist. Perfection always cracks under fear's weight, and crack it does. You feel emerging empathy for Rhea as she begins to bear children, her womb a battlefield of hope and dread. Cronus, eyes shadowed by his father's words, "You'll fall by your own," doesn't celebrate. Instead, the horror mutates subtly as each child emerges first. Hestia, warm as hearth fire, then Demeter, earthy and bountiful, Hera, proud and sharp, Hades, dark and resolute, Poseidon, stormy and wild, he opens his jaws wide, You hear it, that gulping swallow, a wet, echoing yook that reverberates in your throat, physical chill racing down your spine like ice water. The sound haunts you, ironic in its absurdity. A god-king devouring his offspring to cling to power, cannibal in a land of plenty, like those tales of wealthy tycoons during the Gilded Age swallowing competitors whole to maintain empires, but far more visceral. Smell the fleeting newborn scent milk and innocence cut short by his greed. The texture of tiny limbs vanishing into his maw, leaving Rhea's arms empty and cold. 5 times it happens, each swallow deepening your discomfort, the irony sharpening like a blade. He claims it's for the throne's protection, but you see the fear twisting him, empathy blooming for Rhea as she weeps, her tears soaking the earth like rain on parched farms during economic collapse. She's strong, yet powerless, mirroring mothers in tough eras who lost children to hardship or war, their grief a quiet storm. Modern aside, it's like today's power plays in boardrooms or politics, where leaders eat their young talents to stay on top. But with gods, it's literal absurd, chilling, and tragically human. But Rhea resolves to act, and you feel her defiance stir, a warmth cutting through the chill. Pregnant again, she flees to Crete's rugged mountains, where shepherds and nymphs hide her. You huddle there too, the air crisp with pine and sea salt, textured like rough wool blankets in a hidden cabin. She births Zeus, his cry shaking the trees strong from the start, grasping her finger with fate's grip. To fool Cronus, she wraps a stone in swaddling, and you watch him swallow it greedily, the crunch a ironic punchline the mighty titan outwitted by rock, like a con artist falling for his own scam. Meanwhile, Zeus grows in secret, nursed by the goat Amalthea, her milk rich and creamy, smelling of wild herbs, mutating the Lethe motif. Not forgetting entirely, but selectively Rhea forgets her losses in this hidden hope, urging you to reflect on your own buried pains, letting them fade for renewal. Visuals unfold Mount Ida's caves dim and echoing, Kuret's warriors dancing with clashing shields to drown his cries, their bronze gleaming like firelight. Amalthea's horn breaks, spilling endless bounty in a cascade of fruits and grains, textured, abundant, and overflowing. Empathy emerges stronger for Rhea, a mother defying the cycle, like women in the suffrage movement pushing back against patriarchal chains. You ponder an intriguing question. If you could hide one truth from a tyrant in your life, what would it be, and how might it change everything? Let that simmer as the irony deepens Cronus's golden age, so idyllic, rotting from within. His swallows a psychological chill that foreshadows the storm. The world greens under his rule, oblivious to the gathering wind, but you feel the twist hint Zeus stirs in the shadows, his eyes opening with storm's promise, the air electric with impending change. Physical chill lingers, your skin goosebumped at the absurdity a king feasting on fear while paradise blooms. Yet empathy for the devoured siblings tugs, hidden like seeds in winter soil, waiting to sprout. As the age holds, you reflect on its illusion. Irony blending with chill calm, power corrupts even utopias. But underdogs like Zeus persist. The Lethe whispers forget the swallow's horror, easing into empathy's embrace, preparing you for the rebellion's next turn. As that golden age illusion starts to crack under Cronus's paranoid swallows, leaving a lingering chill in your gut like the aftertaste of a too-sweet dream turning sour. Let's slip into the shadows where hope hides. You've empathized with Rhea's quiet defiance, her tears soaking the earth as she hands off that stone decoy, fooling the king in a move that's equal parts clever and heartbreaking. But now, the focus sharpens on her youngest, Zeus, tucked away in secrecy, the ultimate underdog story brewing, irony deepening as the cycle of fear mutates into something resilient. Feel the transition. The abundant fields fade behind you, replaced by Crete's rugged mountains, air crisp and pine-scented, textured like rough-hewn logs in a frontier cabin where fugitives once plotted against kings. You're concealed there now, in the hidden folds of Mount Ida, where the world feels thinner, the psychological chill of pursuit nipping at your heels like a persistent draft through cracked walls. The cave envelops you, dim and echoing, its walls damp with moisture that clings to your skin, smelling of moss and earth secrets. a physical coolness that soothes yet unsettles. Rhea's placed Zeus here among shepherds and nymphs, guardians whispering ancient names through stone and pine. Their voices a soft murmur like wind through autumn leaves. You huddle close, heart sinking with the infant's cry, raw and powerful, threatens to betray everything. But the curate's warriors dance wildly, clashing shields in rhythmic clamour that drowns it out, the bronze ringing in your ears like distant thunder, mutating the leitmotif, not full forgetting, but selective masking, hiding danger to nurture survival, urging you to reflect on what threats in your own life you mask to protect what's precious. Feel the emerging empathy for this tiny Zeus, born different from the start, his eyes opening wide before his first full breath, grasping Rhea's finger with a grip like fate's own vice, iron-hard yet vulnerable. He's no ordinary babe. The blood in his veins thrums with prophecy, a chill thrill running through you as you sense his potential. Like hidden figures in American history, think of those unsung heroes during the civil rights era, oppressed, yet rising against the odds. Their stories buried until they shook the world. Irony layers on Cronus, the mighty titan swallowing stones thinking he's safe, while his downfall nurses on goat's milk in obscurity. It's absurd. Really, Zeus fed by Amalthea, the divine goat, her udders yielding strength beyond measure, the warm, creamy liquid tasting of wild herbs on your imagined tongue, scented with a tangy sweetness that cuts through the cave's musty air. Visuals sharpen in the flickering torchlight. Amalthea's coat gleams golden in the dim glow, her eyes wise and watchful, horns curling like ancient scrolls. One breaks by accident or omen, spilling the cornucopia, that horn of plenty, overflowing with fruits, grains, and flowers in an endless cascade, textured, abundant and silky, smelling of ripe abundance that fills the cave with promise. You reach out mentally, fingers brushing the bounty, a physical warmth easing the chill, but irony deepens with empathy. This symbol of endless wealth, born from a simple beast, hidden in poverty, mirroring modern asides like bootstrap tales during the Great Depression, where folks scraped by on next to nothing yet dreamed of plenty, their resilience a quiet rebellion. As Zeus grows, you watch him in secrecy, raised on stories murmured by firelight not from books, but from the rustle of leaves and high peaks' silence. The air thin and biting with a psychological chill of isolation that makes you reflect on your own hidden strengths. He drinks Amalthea's milk, growing sturdy, his limbs hardening like oak. But when she dies, he honors her by hanging her hide among the stars, a constellation twinkling faintly above, visual like distant campfires on a pioneer trail, guiding lost souls. Academic uncertainty swirls here. Some scholars debate if this goat myth draws from Minoan Crete's real animal cults, blending with later Greek tales, much like how American folklore mutated European roots into something uniquely defiant. Either way, it hints at a twist-hidden weakness becoming cosmic strength, urging you to ponder an intriguing question. What overlooked goat in your life, a small ally or habit, might one day light your path through darkness? The motif of Lethe evolves again, its forgetful waters imagined lapping at the cave's edge, forgetting the danger outside, allowing this sanctuary to nurture. A chill calm settling over you as empathy emerges for Zeus, the underdog born to storm, yet cradled in fragility, like those hidden innovators in America's space race, oppressed by bureaucracy but destined to reach the stars. Irony chuckles softly. Cronus feasts in his golden halls, oblivious, while here in the shadows, a revolution brews, the cave's cool air now feeling protective, textured like a woolen blanket warding off the night. You sense Gaia's whispers guiding him, ancient as stone, her vengeance delayed but not forgotten, adding layers to your reflection. Survival isn't just enduring, it's thriving in hiding, empathy blooming for all underdogs who've waited their turn. The physical chill of the mountain wind brushes your face, carrying hints of sea salt from below, visual of starry hide overhead merging with dancing curates' fires, their shields glinting in rhythmic bursts. As Zeus comes of age, bones weighted with rebellion, you feel the irony peak a child of swallowed siblings, nursed in secrecy, poised to upend everything. Modern aside, It's like whistleblowers in corporate America, hidden until they expose the giants. Their quiet resilience a chill inspiration. Empathy deepens for Rhea too, her sacrifice a mother's quiet storm, the cave's dim light now a beacon of hope mutating from fear. The world outside greens under Cronus's yoke. But here, in this chill haven, you reflect on the twist ahead, from goat's milk to thunder's roar. Underdogs rise when least expected. Let that empathy warm you, irony softening into thoughtful chill as the story builds toward the storm, as that intriguing question about your own hidden goat lingers in your mind, like a faint echo fading into the mountain mist. Let's follow Zeus as he emerges from those shadows, his underdog spark igniting the storm ahead. You've empathized with his fragile start, nursed in secrecy amid the chill of pursuit. But now the irony escalates a boy raised on whispers and goat's milk, destined to topple titans. Feel the air thicken with tension, the pine-scented breeze turning electric as Gaia's ancient whispers guide his steps, mutating from maternal pain into vengeful strategy, pulling you into the fray where gods clash like rival factions in America's Civil War. Brother against brother, power the ultimate prize. You're battling alongside Zeus now, the world a canvas of chaos as the titanomachy erupts, a war that tears the heavens and splits the earth like fault lines cracking during a massive quake. The physical chill races up your spine as thunder rolls, not distant but bone deep, vibrating through your chest like the rumble of artillery in historical battlefields. Olympus stands scarred on one side, its peaks jagged and cloud-wreathed, while Mount Othrys looms opposite, time-worn and defiant, the Titans rallying there with Cronus at the helm, his form massive, eyes cunning yet fearful, irony deepening as the liberator becomes the tyrant clinging to his throne. You sense the fear in him, a psychological chill that mirrors your own discomfort amid the frenzy. How absurd, these immortals quaking like mortals in a crisis, their eternal lives no shield against dread. Visuals explode around you. Lightning forks the sky, bright as Welder's arcs, illuminating titans charging like colossal waves, okeanos flooding valleys with roaring waters that splash cold and salty against your skin, Hyperion hurling beams of light that sear the air with ozone scent, hot and acrid. Feel the sensory struggle winds howl like wolves in a blizzard, whipping your hair, the ground quaking underfoot with each Hecatonchyre's unbound fury, those 100-handed giants, freed from Tartarus's depths, hurling mountains like pebbles, their arms a blur of motion textured rough as bark, smelling of deep earth and rage. The Cyclops forge weapons in volcanic forges, hammers clanging rhythmically, sparks flying like fireworks, mutating the Lethe motif, forgetting imprisonment's horror to unleash creation's fire, a chill reflection on how pain fuels power, urging you to ponder your own buried hurts. Do they chain you, or forge your strength? Empathy emerges for Zeus's siblings, regurgitated full-grown after he tricks Cronus with Metis's potion. Hestia stepping out warm and steady, Demeter earthy and grieving, Hera regal yet sharp-eyed, Hades shadowy and resolute, Poseidon stormy with trident in hand. You feel their rebirth, a wet, shuddering release that slicks your skin, the air heavy with honeyed wine's bittersweet tang, irony hitting like a slap. Swallowed as babes, emerging as warriors, like underdogs in the labor movements of industrial America, suppressed yet rising to demand justice. Shocking element here, the war rages 10 years. Volcanoes bleeding fire that scorches your nostrils with sulfur. Tidal waves swallowing islands whole, their crash deafening and salty sprayed. Modern comparison. It's akin to the prolonged trenches of World War I, where technology promised quick victory but delivered endless grind. Gods and titans locked in stalemate, your discomfort building as smoke darkens the sky. A psychological chill of futility washing over you. But Gaia's counsel turns the tide you descend with Zeus into Tartarus's abyss, the gates breaking with a groan like rusted hinges in an abandoned mine, the air turning frigid and stale, textured like velvet decay clinging to your throat. Visual zoom-out poetic. The world above fades to a pinprick of light, while below, shadows writhe eternal, a vast chasm where forgotten screams echo faintly. like ghosts in haunted battlefields. Free the Cyclopes, their single eyes blazing gratitude. Forging Zeus's thunderbolt, feel its electric hum in your palms. Absurd Tidbit, a weapon from gratitude's forge. Lightning coiled like a serpent, smelling of charged air before rain. To Poseidon, the trident that stirs seas with a salty roar. To Hades, the helm of darkness, cool and invisible as mist. Mutating motifs, torchlight of hope flickering in the depths. Filth of imprisonment washing away in redemption's forge fire. The Hecatoncheires join, their 100 arms battering titans with mountain volleys, the crash deafening, rocks tumbling like avalanches that pelt your senses with dust and debris. Empathy swells for these monstrous allies, once buried like suppressed voices in history's margins, now unleashing fury, irony in their strength, the grotesque outmatching the grand. Like ragtag militias toppling empires in revolutionary wars. Historical debate rages among scholars. Was Titanomachy a metaphor for Mycenaean conquests over older Minoan cultures, blending myth with archaeology, or pure invention to justify Olympian rule? Either way, it hints at a twist victory born from the buried, urging a chill reflection on overlooked powers in your life. The tide turns. You charge with the Olympians, thunderbolts cracking like whips. The air alive with ozone and blood's metallic tang. Physical struggle in every clash. Sweat stings your eyes. Muscles ache from phantom exertion. Discomfort peaking in the chaos. Titans fall one by one, Cronus last, proud yet doomed. His form crumpling like a deflated giant, chained in Tartarus behind bronze gates that clang shut with finality. Their echo a psychological chill of imprisonment eternal. Only a few escape fate, Prometheus siding early, foreseeing like a Depression-era visionary betting on the New Deal. As smoke clears, you stand amid rubble, the world scarred but healing. Empathy emerging for the fallen titans, once rulers, now echoes. Irony chuckles, power seized by might, yet shadowed by the same curse. Modern aside, like corporate takeovers where new CEOs inherit old scandals, the chill of repetition settles. Ponder this intriguing question. If you could chain one fear from your past, would it stay buried or mutate into something stronger? Visual zoom-out, poetic skies brighten over battered peaks, thunder fading to whispers, a strange image of chained giants groaning in the deep, their filth-encrusted forms symbolizing buried redemption waiting to rise. The chill mood shifts from crisis fear to reflective calm, setting up the division ahead, where victory's spoils bring new tensions. As the smoke of Titanomachy settles, leaving that reflective chill in your bones like the quiet after a storm in a war-torn frontier town, you stand atop Olympus, the air crisp and new, victory's weight heavy yet fragile. You've empathized with the chained titans, their groans fading into Tartarus's depths. But now the irony sharpens Zeus, the underdog who toppled a tyrant, must share his prize with brothers forged in the same fire. The world, scarred but breathing, demands order, and you're caught in the tense hush of division, the air electric with possibility, like the moment colonists divvied up new lands after the American Revolution, knowing peace could fracture again. Feel the shift, the ground steadies beneath you, Olympus's marble cool and smooth underfoot, but a psychological chill lingers. Can gods play fair, or will ambition mutate their triumph into new strife? You're there now, immersed in this sacred council, the peaks of Olympus towering around you, clouds swirling like white veils, their texture soft yet cold as they brush your skin, scented with the faint ozone of Zeus's thunderbolt resting nearby. The three brothers Zeus, Poseidon, Hades gather, their presence heavy, each tempered by war's crucible. You feel their gazes Zeus, commanding yet wary, his eyes storm-bright. Poseidon, restless as crashing waves, his beard salted with sea foam. Hades, shadowed and resolute, his silence heavier than stone. The air hums with tension, a physical chill creeping up your arms as they prepare to cast lots, not squabbling like mortals but letting fate decide. A move as solemn as the signing of the Constitution, where chance shaped borders but hid future feuds. Irony bites here, gods, unbound by time, bowing to dice. It's almost laughable, like tech moguls flipping coins for startup shares in Silicon Valley's early days. Yet the stakes are cosmic. Visuals sharpen in the torchlit glow. Zeus stands center, his eagle perched nearby, wings rustling softly, its cry sharp as a warning. Poseidon grips his trident, its prongs glinting like wet coral, the air around him damp with sea's breath. Hades wears his helm, its darkness swallowing light, textured like velvet void, smelling of deep earth and secrets. The lots fall bones clattering on marble, their sound crisp in your ears, mutating the Lethe motif, forgetting rivalry to forge balance, urging you to reflect on what divisions in your life you'd surrender to chance for peace. Zeus wins the sky, his domain vast, the air alive with storm's promise, cool and electric against your face. Poseidon takes the sea, its restless churn echoing in the distance, waves crashing with a salty tang that fills your lungs. Hades draws the underworld, a prize no one envies, his realm cold and dim, the air stale with dust and finality, like forgotten mine shafts in America's industrial heartland. Empathy emerges for Hades, his quiet resolve masking a lonely burden, mirroring those unsung workers in the Great Depression. Toiling in shadows for others' glory, you feel his isolation, a psychological chill as he descends to his shadowed kingdom. The texture of unseen wealth, gems and metals rough under imagined fingers, smelling of cold stone. Irony deepens, the brothers swear no war, yet their realms breed distance, like states dividing post-revolution, each eyeing the other's power. Academic uncertainty swirls. Some scholars argue this division echoes ancient Near Eastern myths of sky, sea, and death gods splitting cosmos, or perhaps reflects real Greek tribal pacts, blending myth with politics. Either way, it hints at a twist harmony born from chance, fragile as a truce, urging you to ponder your own uneasy alliances. The earth remains shared, Gaia's flesh a neutral ground where mountains rise wild, fields bloom for mortals, and forests whisper untamed. You walk it mentally, grass soft underfoot, scented with wildflowers and freedom, but a physical chill persists. Ambition brews in these open spaces, like colonial territories sparking new conflicts. Modern aside, it's akin to modern America's shared spaces parks, internet where freedom invites both unity and strife. Shocking element Hades, stern yet just, rules the dead without seeking worship. His name whispered only in dread, a sad truth that tugs your empathy, his solitude a mirror to those who uphold duty unnoticed. Olympus rises as Zeus's seat, its halls of marble and cloud gleaming, no storms or decay touching them, the air warm with divine presence yet edged with a chill of authority. You stand in its corridors, torchlight flickering hope, mutating into symbols of fragile order, their glow casting long shadows like doubts over a new nation's charter. Visuals zoom out, poetic peaks pierce the heavens, clouds swirling eternal, a strange image of bronze gates sealing Tartarus below, their clang a reminder of buried grudges waiting to stir. Ponder this intriguing question. If you could divide your world, your time, your heart with those closest, what would you claim and what would you let go? Drop it in the comments. Let's see how you'd shape your cosmos. Irony lingers, gods forging peace through lots. Yet fear of betrayal hums beneath, empathy swelling for Hades' silent reign, a chill, calm settling as you reflect on balance's cost. The brothers build their thrones, the world ordered but tense, like a nation post-war, poised for new dramas. Feel the marble cool under your touch, the air shifting from crisis fear to reflective peace, setting up the gods' rise, where new powers will test this fragile accord. As the chill of that fragile cosmic division settles, like the uneasy calm after a frontier treaty signing, you stand on Olympus's gleaming heights, the air still humming with the dice's clatter and Hades' quiet descent. Empathy for his solitude lingers, a soft ache in your chest. But now the irony sharpens. These victorious gods, barely settled, birth a new generation in ways that defy logic and twist fate. You're pulled into their divine drama, the marble underfoot cool and slick, textured like polished stone in a grand hall, scented with faint myrrh and starlight. The world below breathes free, but up here, the air crackles with creation's chaos, like the electric buzz before a storm in America's heartland, hinting at a shift from ordered peace to wild, absurd origins. You're immersed now, standing among the Olympians as they multiply, not through gentle cradles, but through acts so bizarre they make your head spin. Feel the psychological chill ripple through you, gods, meant to be eternal and flawless, birthing kin in ways that mock nature itself. First, Athena springs from Zeus's skull, yes, his skull after he swallows Metis, the titaness of wisdom, fearing her unborn child's power. You hear his groan, a deep, throbbing pain vibrating in your own temples, like a migraine pulsing through a sleepless night. The air grows heavy, scented with iron and divine sweat, as Hephaestus's hammer cracks Zeus's head open, a sound sharp and jarring, like splitting logs in a colonial winter. Out leaps Athena, fully grown, armoured in bronze that gleams like polished sunlight, her spear's tip glinting cold. Irony hits hard Zeus, king of gods, literally brain-birthing wisdom, like a tech mogul stressing over a breakthrough idea that bursts out unbidden. You chuckle inwardly, the absurdity easing your discomfort into a reflective amusement divine creation's a headache. Literally. Visuals flare. Athena stands tall, her owl's eyes piercing like twin moons, the air around her crisp with clarity, textured like silk armor brushing your skin. But the sensory struggle intensifies as you turn to Leto's tale. Her labor a stark contrast, pregnant with Apollo and Artemis. She wanders, rejected by every land, fearing Hera's wrath. Her footsteps heavy with exhaustion as you feel in your own legs, the air thick with salt and despair, smelling like sea-soaked driftwood on a barren shore. Delos, a floating isle, finally shelters her, its rocky surface rough under your imagined touch, like weathered planks of a ship adrift. Leto's cries echo, raw and piercing, as she births twins under a palm tree. The pain a psychological chill that makes you wince, empathy emerging for her struggle. A mother alone, like women in Depression-era America, labouring through hardship without aid. The twins emerge radiant Apollo, golden-haired, his lyre's hum warming the air like a summer breeze, scented with honeyed light. Artemis, silver and swift, her bow taut, the air around her cool with moonlit dew, textured like soft moss underfoot. Visual zoom out, poetic Delos glows under starlight, a lone isle cradled by waves, the twins' light piercing the dark like hope through despair's fog. The Lethe motif mutates, forgetting pain to birth brilliance, urging you to reflect on what struggles in your life might yield unexpected radiance. A chill calm settling as empathy deepens for Leto's endurance. Irony layers on with a modern aside. Athena's birth feels like a startup idea exploding from stress, while Leto's mirrors single mothers grinding through poverty, their triumphs unsung but transformative, like unsung heroines of the suffrage movement. Academic uncertainty swirls. Some scholars argue these birth myths reflect Greek matriarchal roots clashing with patriarchal Olympian tales, or perhaps borrow from Anatolian goddess cults, blending cultures like America's melting pot. Shocking element Zeus swallowing Metis, pregnant to stifle her power. A sad act of divine paranoia that tugs your empathy. The air now heavy with betrayal's metallic tang, like blood on a battlefield. You feel the sensory struggle. The hammer's clang still echoes in your skull. Leto's cries linger like a distant wail. Physical chill blending with psychological unease at God's flawed acts. Yet empathy emerges stronger for Athena, born of wisdom's pain, and the twins, born of exile's grit, their radiance as torchlight of hope mutating into symbols of resilience. Historical debate hints at a twist. Are these births divine propaganda to cement Olympian rule, or echoes of real ancient rites? Either way, it stirs reflection on creation's cost, urging you to ponder an intriguing question. What pain in your life birthed your strongest moments? Drop it in the comments. Let's share those quiet victories. The new gods gather, their presence filling Olympus with a warm glow. But irony persists. Creation's chaos mirrors human flaws, gods acting like overworked parents or jealous siblings. You stand amid their shining forms, the air vibrant yet edged with chill tension, empathy swelling for their struggles, so close to mortal ones. Visual zoom out, poetic Olympus sparkles, a city of marble and cloud, yet shadows flicker below. A strange image of Athena's spear gleaming beside Leto's weary form, hinting at dramas to come. As the pantheon grows, you reflect on the chill cost of brilliance, irony softening into empathy's warmth, setting up the next chapter where mortals join the fray, their own creations sparking new conflicts. As the radiant glow of Athena and the twins settles on Olympus, like a fleeting sunrise warming your face before a long night, you feel that empathy for their painful births linger, a soft ache mingling with irony's sharp edge, gods birthing gods through chaos, yet so human in their flaws. Now, the story shifts to Earth, where a new player, Prometheus, dares to meddle, his underdog spark lighting a fire that changes everything. You're pulled from celestial heights to the muddy banks of a river, the air thick with clay's damp scent, textured like wet earth under your fingers, as creation takes a mortal turn. The chill of divine drama morphs into a gritty, physical struggle, empathy emerging for humanity's fragile start, like immigrants carving lives from America's raw frontier, irony deepening at the gods' petty response to a titan's bold move. You're kneeling now, hands sunk in cool, slick clay, helping Prometheus sculpt the first humans, their forms soft and yielding under your touch, smelling of riverbank mud after a spring rain. He molds them in the god's image upright, thoughtful, yet clawless, fangless, trembling under an open sky, their vulnerability a psychological chill that tightens your chest. You sense his foresight, his name meaning forethought, a cunning spark like whistleblowers in modern America exposing corporate greed, risking all for justice. But here's the absurd tidbit that makes you pause. Prometheus breathes life into clay, like a mad artist animating statues, yet these humans shiver defenseless, their skin bare as Dust Bowl farmers facing relentless winds. Irony hits gods crafted in glory, humans in frailty, yet both doomed to hubris. Feel the sensory struggle. The clay clings to your palms, heavy and cold, the air sharp with the tang of wet stone, as Prometheus pleads with Zeus for a gift to lift these mortals above beasts. Zeus refuses, his voice booming like thunder over a prairie, declaring fire divine. Not for mortal hands Hestia's hearth, Zeus's bolt, Hephaestus's forge, all sacred, untouchable. You feel the chill rejection, physical and biting, like a winter night without shelter, empathy swelling for these fragile creations, shivering in your mind's eye like settlers in colonial winters, denied warmth by distant lords. Modern aside, it's akin to gatekeepers in today's tech world, hoarding innovation, leaving dreamers to scrape by ironic. Isn't it that gods fear mortals' potential as much as any CEO fears a startup? But Prometheus, stubborn as a revolutionary, acts. You follow him, heart pounding as he sneaks to Hephaestus's forge, its heat searing your face, smelling of molten iron and coal smoke. He steals a flame, hiding it in a hollow fennel stalk, its dry, woody texture crackling under your imagined grip. You descend with him, the flame's warmth a physical relief against the night's chill, and gift it to humanity. Visuals flare, fire crackles beneath stars, smoke spiraling like prayers, casting flickering shadows on clay faces now alive with wonder, their eyes reflecting torchlight that mutates from divine hope to mortal defiance. The Lethe motif twists, forgetting God's wrath to embrace survival's spark, urging you to reflect what small act of rebellion in your life lit a fire that changed everything. Zeus's fury erupts, a storm's roar shaking your bones, the air electric with ozone and rage, like a corporate crackdown on a whistleblower. For humanity, he commissions a curse disguised as a gift Pandora, sculpted from clay like the first men, her beauty a trap. You watch Hephaestus shape her, clay smooth under his hands, Aphrodite gifting charm that dazzles like starlight, Hermes weaving cunning into her smile, Athena draping her in silver raiment that shimmers, textured like silk against your skin. But her jar mistranslated later as a box holds horrors, disease, toil, grief, madness, spilling out when curiosity, her final gift, cracks it open. You feel the sensory struggle, a cold gust of despair as evils swirl like black smoke, smelling of decay and ash, a psychological chill gripping you as the world darkens, mirroring pandemics or economic crashes that reshaped modern lives. Shocking element. Only hope remains in the jar, a faint glow pulsing like a dying ember, sad yet resilient, tugging your empathy for humanity now hunted by fate, like Great Depression families facing hunger, yet clinging to dreams. Academic uncertainty stirs. Some argue Pandora's tale mirrors Mesopotamian flood myths, where gods punish human ambition. Others see it as Greek caution against curiosity, blending cultures like America's folklore patchwork. Either way, it hints at a twist defiance's cost is steep, but hope endures, a chill reflection on your own struggles. Prometheus pays the price chained to a mountain, his liver torn daily by an eagle. It screeches, piercing your ears, blood's metallic tang thick in the air, the pain a physical chill as his flesh regrows each night. Visual zoom out poetic. The mountain loomed stark against a crimson sky, Prometheus bound eternal, a lone figure enduring like forgotten heroes in history's margins. Irony deepens, the firegiver suffers for humanity's gain. Like modern activists jailed for truth, empathy swelling for his unbowed spirit. Ponder this ironic question. What spark have you kindled that others try to snuff out? Share it below. Let's light up the night with those stories. The world shifts, mortals building with fire's gift, but the chill of divine wrath lingers, empathy and irony blending as you reflect on defiance's price. A strange image of Pandora's faint hope glowing in the dark, setting up humanity's next trials, as the faint glow of Pandora's hope flickers in your mind. Like a lone candle in a storm, you're still reeling from Prometheus's sacrifice, his blood-soaked defiance chilling your core. The irony of a god punished for humanity's spark lingers, empathy swelling for mortals now burdened with evils yet clinging to resilience, much like families enduring the Great Depression's grind. Now, you're swept into the ages of man, a saga of rise and fall where you walk among mortals, feeling the earth shift beneath you, its texture mutating from golden abundance to iron's bitter toil. The air carries a fading sweetness, like overripe fruit turning sour, as the Lethe motif whispers, forget the fleeting glory to face the struggle, urging a chill reflection on your own cycles of loss and renewal. You're immersed in the Golden Age first, under Cronus's reign, where fields bloom without labour, their scent rich with honeyed grains and wildflowers, textured like velvet under your bare feet. Mortals live like gods, unscarred by age or pain, their laughter a soft hum in your ears, warm as a summer dusk in America's heartland before industrialization's grind. You wander their meadows, the sun eternal, no hunger gnawing your belly, no winter's bite to dread. Irony creeps in, this paradise, so perfect, feels fragile, like the American dream peddled in boom times, only to crash. Your psychological chill grows how absurd that mortals, free from toil, still fade, their spirits becoming kindly daemonies. Guardians drifting like fireflies, their glow faint but protective. The Silver Age dawns, and you feel the shift. The earth hardens, its scent now tinged with metallic dust, like abandoned farms in the Dust Bowl. Mortals grow tall but arrogant, lingering in childhood for a century, pampered yet ignorant. Their voices brash in your ears. They mock the gods, build no temples, offer no sacrifices. Their hubris a psychological chill that tightens your chest, mirroring colonists defying distant kings, only to falter. Zeus strikes them down, their spirits fading into the underworld's grey silence, a sad element tugging your empathy for their lost potential. Academic uncertainty stirs. Some scholars see this as Greek caution against pride, others as echoes of Near Eastern flood myths punishing disobedience, blending like America's folklore absorbing older tales. Irony deepens a lesser age, yet so human in its flaws, urging you to reflect on your own moments of overreach. The Bronze Age hardens the world further, and you're thrust into its brutal rhythm, the air thick with ash and blood, smelling of charred wood and iron, textured like rough-hewn shields under your fingers. Born from ash trees, these mortals are war-forged, their flesh said to be bronze, their homes and tools gleaming coldly, like weapons littered across Civil War battlefields. You hear war drums pounding, a physical chill as swords clash, their metallic clang echoing in your skull. They live for slaughter, not evil but driven, leaving only shattered blades and empty fields, no poems or cities, empathy emerges for their futility. Their lives a cycle of violence, like soldiers in endless wars, your discomfort mounting at the waist. Modern aside, it's akin to modern arms races, where strength breeds destruction. Irony in the absurdity of crafting bronze hearts that break so easily. Then, a brief light. The heroic age. You stride among demigods, their blood half divine, their deeds carving legends. Perseus slays monsters, Heracles wrestles beasts. Jason chases fleece each, a vivid visual Perseus's sword flashing like starlight. Heracles' muscles straining under lion's hide, Jason's fleece glowing molten gold. The air shifts, scented with sweat and glory, textured like worn leather of a hero's armor. But the psychological chill persists. Their glory burns bright yet brief, like revolutionary heroes in early America, celebrated then forgotten. Shocking element. Many die young, their graves unmarked save by songs, a sad truth that tugs your empathy, their triumphs echoing in your heart like fading anthems. The Iron Age arrives, and you're grounded in its toil, the earth now bitter, its soil hard and unyielding under your feet, smelling of sweat and rust, like factory towns in industrial America. Mortals labor from dawn to dusk, their hands calloused, faces lined with pain, hunger gnawing like a constant ache in your own gut. Bonds break friends, kin, host's justice averts her eyes, lies multiply. A psychological chill of despair settling as you reflect on modern parallels today's grind, chasing wealth while cutting forests, mirrors this age's sorrow, irony and progress breeding loss. Visual zoom out poetic fields lie barren under a grey sky. Mortals toiling like ants, a strange image of broken ploughs rusting in rain, filth mutating into symbols of endurance. The Lethe motif evolves, forgetting golden ease to embrace iron's grit, urging you to ponder an intriguing question. What golden moment in your life do you cling to, and how might letting go free you for sleep's peace? Drop it below. Let's share those reflections. Historical debate lingers. Some see these ages as Hesiod's poetic frame, others as echoes of real societal shifts in ancient Greece, blending with America's own myth of progress and decline. As the Iron Age grinds on, you feel empathy for mortals' resilience, irony in their struggle mirroring God's flaws, a chill calm settling as you reflect on cycles unbroken. The strange image lingers, a rusted plough half buried in mud, a faint torchlight of hope flickering, setting up heroes who'll challenge this weary world. As the faint torchlight of hope from that rusted plough in the Iron Age flickers in your imagination, like a distant lantern guiding lost travellers through a foggy night, you're left pondering those golden moments we cling to, their grip loosening as reality's grind takes hold. The empathy for mortals' enduring struggle in Hesiod's ages swells within you, irony sharpening at how progress often sows its own seeds of sorrow. Much like America's boom and bust cycles that promised plenty but delivered hardship, now you're drawn into the heroic age's brief blaze, striding alongside demigods whose blood pulses with divine fire. Their quests a whirlwind of glory and grit that pulls you from weary toil into epic adventure. Feel the shift. The bitter soil softens under your feet, air alive with salt and sweat, as myths mutate from collective decline to personal triumphs. The Lethe motif whispering to forget the iron chains and embrace heroism's fleeting spark, urging a chill reflection on what quests in your own life might redefine you. You're charging into these heroic quests now, immersed in the dust and drama, the world a vast stage where gods meddle and mortals rise, like underdogs in frontier legends pushing against impossible odds. Start with Perseus, great-grandson of that hidden strength, his tale kicking off with a prophecy that chills your spine, King Acrisius of Argos, haunted by an oracle's whisper that his daughter's son will kill him, locks Danae in a bronze tower, its walls cold and echoing, textured like rusted iron under your fingers, smelling of damp confinement like a colonial prison amid revolutionary whispers. But fate laughs at locks. Zeus descends as golden rain, slipping through cracks no mortal could. The air shimmering with metallic gleam, a sensory delight of warm droplets pattering like summer showers on parched earth. You feel the union spark, a psychological chill of divine intrusion, irony deepening a king's precaution, birthing his doom, like paranoid leaders in American history building walls that only trap themselves. Danae conceives Perseus, and you're there in the tower's gloom, the air heavy with newborn cries and fear. Empathy emerging for mother and child cast adrift in a wooden chest on the wine-dark sea. Waves crashing salty and relentless, their foam textured like whipped cream gone bitter. The chest bobs endlessly, your stomach churning with the motion, discomfort mounting as Poseidon's whims toy with them, until it washes ashore on Seriphos, where fisherman Dictys hauls it in, his nets rough and fish-scented, offering shelter like kind strangers in immigrant tales during the Ellis Island era. Perseus grows tall and strong, his bearing kingly yet humble, eyes stormy as his father's thunder, and you walk beside him, feeling the sand shift underfoot, warm and gritty, as King Polydectes lusts for Danae, setting Perseus on a suicide quest. Fetch Medusa's head, the Gorgon whose gaze petrifies, an absurd tidbit that makes you shiver snakes for hair. Wings of bronze, a face so hideous it turns flesh to stone, like horror stories of cursed mirrors in old folklore. The gods favour him, and you sense their aid. Athena lent her polished shield, its surface mirror bright, reflecting horrors without direct stare, the metal cool and smooth in your hands. Hermes gifts winged sandals, lifting you airborne with a whoosh, air rushing past like a chill wind through canyon trails. You steal the Grey Sisters' single eye, their cackles echoing in a foggy cave smelling of decay and salt, textured like wrinkled parchment, bargaining for Gorgon secrets. Absurd irony here. 3 hags sharing one eye, like budget constraints in a start-up forcing shared resources, your amusement cutting through discomfort as they reveal the path beyond ocean's edge, to a grove where night never lifts, shadows thick as velvet fog. You fly with Perseus over seas and deserts, the wind whipping cold against your face, heart pounding with emerging empathy for his lone quest, like solo pioneers crossing the Oregon Trail, facing unknowns with grit. The Gorgons sleep in their shadowed lair, ringed by statues of failed heroes, frozen in terror, their stone forms rough and lifeless under your touch, a physical chill seeping from the marble. Using Athena's shield, you approach backward, reflection guiding the strike. Feel the sickles swing, the resistance as it severs Medusa's neck, blood gushing hot and viscous, smelling coppery and wild, mutating into Pegasus, the winged horse, and Chrysa, the golden warrior, bursting forth in a spray of foam and light. Visuals exploding Pegasus's wings, unfurling white and powerful, hooves thundering on stone, Chrysa's blade gleaming like sunlight on waves. The sisters wail, a piercing screech that rattles your bones. But Hades's helm cloaks you in invisibility, its darkness cool and enveloping, like a blanket of night mutating from fear to safety. You escape with the head in Achilles' sack, its weight heavy and ominous, the gaze still deadly. On the return, you pass Ethiopia's shores, where Andromeda chains to a rock as sea monster sacrifice, her cries echoing over crashing waves, salted air stinging your eyes. Perseus slays the beast, turning it to stone with Medusa's glare, the crackle of petrification a chill sound like ice forming. Visuals vivid, the monster's scales hardening grey, Andromeda's chain snapping free, her form graceful amid the foam, empathy swelling for her innocence, like damsels in distress tales from Wild West lore, ironic in their damsel-turned-queen arc. Back on Seriphos, Polydectes scoffs, but you unveil the head, his court freezing in horror, statues mid-laugh, a shocking element that tugs discomfort power's double edge, beauty from death. Perseus claims Andromeda, founding lines, but fate circles back. At games, his discus strikes Acrisius unknowingly, fulfilling the prophecy, irony peaking in accidental doom, like unintended consequences in historical revolutions. You reflect on the cycle, empathy for Perseus's unintended guilt, a psychological chill as he mourns, mutating hope into sorrow. Shift to Heracles, mightiest demigod. His birth a trick Zeus disguises as Amphitryon, extending night threefold, the air thick with deception's musk, like hidden affairs in scandalous histories. Born with twin Iphicles, Heracles strangles Hera's serpents in the cradle, their scales slimy under your phantom grip, hisses fading to silence, absurd tidbit infant hands crushing death, like child prodigies upending expectations. You train with him, music and wrestling blending, but wildness stirs, a chill unrest in his blood. Marriage to Megara brings peace, but Hera's madness descends, a psychological fog clouding your vision. Heracles slaying his family in frenzy, blood's tang overwhelming, visuals haunting halls stained red, cries echoing like ghosts in abandoned towns. Empathy surges for his grief, cries reaching Olympus unanswered, like veterans haunted by war's ghosts in modern America. Oracle at Delphi demands servitude to Eurystheus, 12 labours commencing, each a trial mutating from punishment to legend. First, the Nemean lion. Its hide impervious. You corner it in a cave smelling of musk and rot, Heracles strangling it bare-handed, the fur rough and golden under your touch, skinned with its own claw, worn as armour textured like invincible leather. The Lernaean hydra follows, swamp mist clammy on your skin, heads regrowing as he severs, Iolaus cauterizing stumps with fire's acrid smoke, the final immortal head buried, its ichor poisoning arrows, a chill venom that lingers in the air. The Ceryneian hind, sacred to Artemis, flees golden-horned through hills. You chase for a year, rivers cold and rushing, capturing it gently. Empathy for the beast's wild grace. The Erymanthian boar rampages, snow crunching underfoot in Arcadia's heights, wrestled and chained, its fury a physical struggle shaking your frame. Organ stables reek of filth, rivers rerouted in a day's flood, the rush of water cleansing yet chaotic, mutating dirt into redemption's flow. Stymphalian birds swarm with bronze beaks, their wings razor-sharp. You rattle them into flight with Athena's gift, arrows felling them mid-air, feathers falling like deadly rain. The Cretan bull bellows, father of the Minotaur, wrestled amid sea-salt fury, its horns curved and menacing. Diomedes' man-eating mares gnash teeth, fed their master, growing docile in horror's wake, the air thick with blood's iron tang. Hippolyta's girdle demands diplomacy turned bloody, Hera's rumours sparking Amazon war. You clash shields ringing, the queen slain, belt seized in regret's chill, Geryon's cattle at world's edge, triple-bodied giant fought beyond pillars of Hercules, red hides gleaming, driven back across continents. Golden apples of Hesperides guarded by dragon. You trick Atlas to fetch them, holding the sky's crushing weight, shoulders aching with cosmic burden, the fruit's scent sweet and forbidden. Finally, Cerberus from Hades, you descend into gloom, air stale and cold, wrestling the three-headed hound, its snarls echoing, foam dripping hot, leading its snarling to light. Labours complete, but Heracles' life spirals more battles, new wives, poisoned tunic from Nessus's blood-burning flesh like acid, his pyre on Uta crackling, ascension to Olympus as god, married to Hebe, irony and mortal pain forging divinity. Theseus follows, son of Poseidon or Aegeus, raised in Trusan, lifting the stone for sword and sandals, his road labours cleansing bandits, like Periphetes clubbed, Sinis torn by pines, siren kicked to sea. You travel with him, air fresh with victory's sweat, empathy for his political bent unifying Attica, founding Athens, a city of law like America's founding, irony in a hero building poles amid monsters. His Minotaur quest, Athens tributes youths to Crete's labyrinth. Theseus volunteers, Ariadne's thread guiding through twisting passages, the beast's roar chilling your blood, slain in dark coils smelling of decay. But love sours, he abandons Ariadne on Naxos. Her weeping a sad echo, sails black in forgetfulness, Aegeus leaping to sea in grief. You feel the empathy deepen for flawed heroes, their triumphs shadowed by loss, like leaders whose visions falter in personal failings. Atalanta, raised by bears, swift huntress, joins Argonauts, races suitors, her speed a blur, golden apples distracting, marriage to Hippomenes mutating freedom into bond. Jason's quest assembles, heroes Heracles, Orpheus, Atalanta on Argo, prow whispering prophecies, sailing east through clashing rocks, dove's tail feather lost in the crush, in Colchis, fire-breathing bulls yoked, dragon teeth sewn into warriors slain by stone trick, fleece seized with Medea's spells, her brother dismembered for delay, horror's chill in scattered limbs. Return brings betrayal. Peleus slain by Medea's ruse, exile to Corinth, Jason abandoning her for a princess, her vengeance poisoning the bride, slaying her sons, dragon chariot fleeing. You ponder the irony quest for glory ending in ruin, empathy for Medea's rage, like scorned women in historical scandals fighting back, academic debate. Were these quests historical voyages, like Minoan trade routes, or pure myth? Modern comparison, like space explorations promising wonder but delivering isolation, shocking in their human cost. Bellerophon tames Pegasus with Athena's bridle, slays Chimera's fire breath, but hubris sends him flying too high, falling to earth lame and blind, a sad fall from grace. The hero's era burns bright, you among them, air alive with salt and blood, sensory immersion in labour's sweat, quests wins, but irony in their demigod blood-breeding tragedy, empathy for their mortal hearts. Ponder this intriguing question. What quest in your life felt epic yet left you changed? Share below. Let's uncover those hidden legends. The strange image lingers, a faint torchlight on a labyrinth wall, flickering uncertain, chill mood shifting to the war that'll eclipse these personal glories. Troy's walls rising on the horizon, as the flickering torchlight of those heroic quests dims in your mind. Like a fading campfire on a lonesome prairie night, you're left grappling with empathy for demigods whose epic triumphs crumbled into personal tragedies. Their half-divine blood no shield against mortal flaws, the irony of their fleeting glory, Perseus's accidental curse, Heracles' fiery ascent. Theseus's exile sits heavy, a psychological chill that echoes the broken dreams of American pioneers chasing gold only to find dust. Now, you're swept into the Trojan War, a clash born not of monsters or labours, but of a single, absurd act, a golden apple sparking a decade of fire and blood. Feel the shift. The earth hardens underfoot, textured like scorched sand on a battlefield, air thick with salt and smoke, as the Lethe motif mutates, forgetting personal quests to drown in collective ruin, urging a chill reflection on how small choices ripple into chaos, like a single tweet igniting a cultural firestorm in modern America. You're standing on the shores of Troy now, immersed in the prelude to war, the air sharp with sea's briny tang, waves crashing against black-hulled ships, their timbers creaking like old barn doors in a Midwest storm. It begins at a divine wedding, Peleus and Thetis, a mortal and nymph fated to bear a son greater than his father. All gods are invited, save Eris, goddess of discord, who tosses a golden apple inscribed to the fairest into the feast, a petty jab that feels like a social media slight gone viral. You see it roll across the marble floor, glinting maliciously, its surface smooth and cold under your imagined touch, scented with forbidden allure, like the promise of fame in Hollywood's underbelly. Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite claim it. They're bickering, a psychological chill that prickles your skin gods squabbling like influencers over a coveted award. Irony deepening in their divine vanity. They turn to Paris, a Trojan prince exiled to Mount Ida's slopes, his shepherd's cloak rough and woolen, smelling of earth and lanolin, his fate sealed by an oracle's whisper that he'd burn his city. You stand beside him, the air cool with pine and prophecy. As the goddesses bribe him, Hera offers kingship, her voice regal but cold. Athena pledges wisdom and victory, her eyes flint sharp. Aphrodite whispers love, promising Helen, Sparta's radiant queen, her smile soft thunder that warms yet unsettles you. Paris chooses love, irony biting hard, a shepherd picking beauty over power, like a modern dreamer chasing romance over ambition, only to spark ruin. Empathy emerges for his naive choice, a young man swayed by desire, like countless souls caught in love's reckless pull across history. Helen, daughter of Zeus and leader, is no mere prize. Her beauty draws suitors like moths, their oaths binding them to defend her union, a pact sealed with laughter now turned to chains, much like colonial compacts promising unity but breeding strife. You're in Sparta's halls, marble gleaming, air scented with olive oil and roses, as Menelaus, her husband, hosts Paris under guest right. But when Paris sails back to Troy with Helen willing or taken, poets disagree. The air shifts, heavy with betrayal's musk, like a scandal breaking in a small American town, whispers spreading like wildfire. Visuals flare, 1,000 Greek ships gather at Aulis, sails like thunderclouds, bronze armor glinting under dawn's light. The seas roar, a physical chill that salts your lips. Menelaus calls the oath, and heroes answer Odysseus, clever but reluctant, like a draftee dodging conscription. Nestor, wise and weathered. Ajax the Great, towering grimly. Diomedes, battle-hungry. You feel their weight, boots stomping earth, shields clanging, the air alive with sweat and iron, textured like worn leather straps. But the winds fail at Aulis, ships idle, a psychological chill of delay creeping in, like stalled dreams in economic slumps. Calchas, the seer, reveals Artemis's wrath perhaps over a boast or slain stag demanding Iphigenia, Agamemnon's daughter, a sacrifice. You stand at the altar, heart pounding, air thick with incense and dread, her cries piercing as the blade falls, blood's tang sharp and hot, a shocking element that tugs empathy for her mother Clytemnestra's grief, like families torn by war's cost in American history. The winds rise and you sail with the Greeks, landing on Troy's shores, their walls built by Poseidon and Apollo looming unyielding, textured like ancient stone under your fingers, smelling of dust and defiance. For 9 years, the siege grinds on, camp sprawling along the beach, black smoke curling from fires, the air acrid with burning wood and flesh. Trojans, led by Priam's sons Hector noble, Paris weak, Deiphobus fierce hold fast, allies like Sarpedon and Memnon bringing fresh blood. You feel the sensory struggle, sand gritty underfoot, shouts and clangs deafening, blood's metallic scent mingling with sea salt, discomfort mounting as the war drags, like prolonged conflicts draining nations' souls. In the 10th year, the Iliad's drama unfolds. You're in the Greek camp, air heavy with plague's decay. As Agamemnon's greed sparks a feud, he keeps Chryses, a priest's daughter, despite Apollo's plague, then demands Briseis from Achilles, who withdraws in fury, his myrmidons silent, a psychological chill of betrayal settling like frost. Irony bites a king's pride, fracturing his army, like political scandals splitting modern alliances. Hector surges, leading Trojans to burn Greek ships, their flames crackling vivid, smoke stinging your eyes, empathy swelling for his duty-bound heart. A father and husband fighting for home, like soldiers in historical wars torn between love and honor. Achilles' grief over Patroclus' death, slain by Hector, shakes you his howl, a storm's roar, raw and primal, air thick with salt and sorrow. He returns, clad in Hephaestus' armor, bronze gleaming like sunfire, his shield etched with the world's story, a visual marvel that dazzles your senses. You run with him, chasing Hector around Troy's walls thrice, dust choking your throat, the clash of their duel a thunderous clang, Hector falling pierced, blood pooling like spilled wine, a sad element that deepens your empathy for both hero and foe. Bound by fate's cruel dance, Achilles drags Hector's body, the chariot's wheels grinding, a physical chill as dust clouds rise, textured like gritty ash on your skin. Priam's plea, kissing Achilles' bloodied hands, breaks the cycle, a moment of shared grief. Visuals vivid, the old king kneeling, tears glistening. Hector's body returned under starlight, mutating filth into redemption's quiet honor. Academic debate stirs, did the Trojan War echo real Mycenaean conflicts? Or was it myth woven from older tales? Like American epics blending history and legend, modern aside, the oath's betrayal mirrors broken contracts in corporate America, sparking wars of pride. Irony in how love and honor twist into ruin. The Lethe motif evolves, forgetting war's horror to find fleeting peace, urging you to reflect on what grudges you might release for sleep's calm. You ponder this ironic question. What small choice in your life, love? Pride sparked a bigger storm. And how did you find peace share below? Let's unravel those tales. Visuals zoom out poetic Troy's walls stand defiant, flames licking their base, a strange image of a burning city mirrored by a lone torch of truce flickering in the night, chill mood shifting to reflection on war's futility, setting up the hero's fall where personal tragedies eclipse epic battles. As the fading torch of truce flickers over Troy's burning walls, its faint glow a fragile promise swallowed by smoke, you're left with a heavy empathy for Hector's quiet honour and Achilles' raw grief. Their fates tangled in war's cruel weave. The irony stings epic battles sparked by a petty apple, yet ending in shared tears, like America's Civil War where brotherly bonds bled into division. Now, you're swept into the fall of heroes, a descent where demigods, half divine but achingly human, unravel under fate's weight, their legends crumbling like old statues in forgotten towns. Feel the shift. The battlefield's ash settles, the air turning cold and musty, textured like cracked stone under your fingers, as the leitmotif mutates, forgetting glory's blaze to face personal ruin, urging a chill reflection on your own battles. When did triumph turn to loss? And what resilience carried you through? You're wandering now, immersed in a world where heroes' light dims, the ground uneven with broken dreams, smelling of dust and faded laurels, like abandoned homesteads in the Great Depression's wake. Start with Oedipus, king of Thebes, born of a cursed prophecy that chills your bones. Laius, his father, warned his son would kill him and wed his mother, pierces the infant's ankles and abandons him on Mount Cithaeron. You feel the sharp sting in your own feet, a physical chill as blood seeps, the air raw with pine and despair, textured like jagged rocks scraping skin. A shepherd saves him, passing him to Corinth's childless king and queen, naming him Oedipus Swollen Foot, their love warm but deceptive, like immigrant families hiding origins to shield their young. You grow with Oedipus, clever and proud, the air in Corinth's halls scented with olive oil and wax, marble cool underfoot. Rumours of his birth reach you, a psychological chill creeping like doubt in a family secret. Seeking truth, you journey to Delphi, the oracle's voice cryptic over steaming chasms, her words heavy. You'll kill your father, marry your mother. Horror grips you, a cold sweat on your brow, as you flee Corinth, believing Polybus and Merope your true parents. Irony deepening, running from fate only tightens its noose. Like Americans fleeing economic ruin only to find hardship anew. On a narrow road near Daulis, you clash with a proud stranger Laius, unknown over passage rights. The air crackles with anger, swords flashing, blood's metallic tang sharp as you strike, his body crumpling, a shocking act you don't yet grasp. Empathy emerging for your unwitting sin, like soldiers haunted by wartime acts in historical annals. You reach Thebes, under siege by the Sphinx, her lion's body sleek, eagle wings rustling, woman's face cruel, her riddle echoes. What walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, 3 in the evening? You answer, man, your voice steady, and she hurls herself from a cliff, wings snapping, a vivid visual of stone and feathers scattering. The city's cheers warming the air like a festival's glow. Thebes crowns you king, wedding widowed Jocasta, her touch soft yet heavy with fate's irony. The air scented with myrrh and hidden grief. Years pass, children born Eteocles, Polynices, Antigone. Is mean your rule just? But plague strikes, a physical chill of decay fouling the air like disease-ridden tenements in industrial America. The oracle names unpunished blood as the curse, and you unravel the truth. Each clue a stab. The stranger was Laius, your father, Jocasta, your mother. Visuals haunt Jocasta's brooch glints as she hangs herself, rope creaking. You pierce your eyes with her pins, blood hot and sticky. The pain a searing chill blinding you, textured like molten iron in your sockets. You wander exiled, guided by Antigone's hand, her steps soft but resolute, air cold with exile's bite, smelling of earth and loss, empathy swelling for her loyalty, like daughters in historical crises sacrificing for family. At Colonus, the earth swallows you gently, a secret grave, a strange peace mutating filth into redemption's quiet end. But the curse persists. Eteocles and Polynices war for Thebes, slaying each other at the gates, blood pooling like spilled wine, Antigone buried alive for defying Creon's decree, her screams muffled, a sad element tugging your heart, like women punished for defiance in America's suffrage struggles. Shift to Theseus, Athens' hero king, born of Aegeus or Poseidon, raised in Trusan's quiet hills, air scented with sea salt and cedar, textured like smooth pebbles underfoot. You lift his stone at 16, claiming sword and sandals, their leather worn and warm, embarking on a perilous road, bandits fall, Periphetes clubbed, his weapon heavy in your hands, Sinis torn by pines, their snap echoing, siren kick to sea, waves crashing cold and salty. You arrive in Athens unrecognized, Medea's poison nearly felling you, a chill burn in your throat, but Aegeus sees the sword, embracing you, visuals vivid, his arms strong, palace gleaming, air alive with olive and wine. Crete's Minotaur demands Athens' youths, and you volunteer sailing to Knossos, the labyrinth stone walls damp and twisting, smelling of decay and beast. A psychological chill as Ariadne's thread guides you, its silk soft yet taut. You face the Minotaur, horns curved, raw, shaking your bones, slaying it in darkness, blood hot and rank like slaughterhouses in industrial cities. You flee with Ariadne, but abandon her on Naxos, her weeping a sad echo under unfamiliar stars. Irony biting love's hero turning callous, like leaders betraying ideals for power. Black sails signal failure. Aegeus leaps into the Aegean, its waves claiming him, a shocking loss that deepens your empathy. Textured like sea foam's fleeting touch, you unify Attica, festivals blooming, air festive with wine and song, but ventures falter battling Amazons, journeying to Hades for Persephone, trapped on the chair of forgetfulness, memory eroding like sand in wind, a physical chill of loss. Heracles frees you, but Athens exiles you to Skyros, where a jealous king casts you from a cliff, bones breaking on rocks below, a sad end for a city's founder, empathy swelling for his legacy. Like forgotten statesmen in American history, academic debate swirls. Were these tragedies rooted in real Bronze Age conflicts, or poetic warnings against hubris, blending like America's myths of heroes and rebels, modern aside Oedipus's blind quest for truth mirrors, whistleblowers exposing systemic flaws, irony in their ruin for honesty. Theseus's fall echoes politicians undone by their own cities, like modern leaders cancelled for past sins. The Lethe motif evolves, forgetting glory to embrace ruin's lessons, urging a chill reflection. What truths have you sought that changed you forever? You ponder this ironic question, what victory in your life turned bitter, and how did you find peace in its shadow share below? Let's unravel those quiet scars. Visual zoom out, poetic Thebes' gates stand bloodied. Athens' hills whisper of lost kings. A strange image of Antigone's tomb sealed in stone. Torchlight fading into despair's chill. Mood shifting to the god's own decline, where even immortals face their fall. As Antigone's tomb seal shut in your mind, its stone walls echoing with her muffled cries like a fading requiem. You're left steeped in empathy for heroes whose victories crumbled into exile and loss. Their stories a stark mirror of America's own fallen idols, from revolutionary heroes to forgotten reformers. The irony cuts deep glory so fleeting, it's almost laughable how mortals chase it, only to trip over fate's cruel threads. Now, you're swept into the twilight of the gods, a slow fade where Olympians, once blazing with thunder and starlight, dim under the weight of new faiths and shifting worlds. Feel the shift. The air cools, textured like weathered marble under your fingers, scented with fading incense and dust, as the Lethe motif mutates, forgetting divine supremacy to embrace a mortal-like fragility, urging a chill reflection on what powers in your own life dreams. Ambitions might one day slip away, leaving lessons in their wake. You're standing on Olympus's crumbling steps now, immersed in a world where the god's radiance wanes, the halls once vibrant with myrrh and cloud now heavy with silence, like abandoned factories in America's Rust Belt, their steel skeletons whispering of bygone glory. The Olympians, Zeus thundering, Hera scheming, Athena strategizing still rule, but cracks show. You feel the psychological chill of their unease. a creeping doubt as mortal cities like Athens and Rome rise, their marble temples gleaming yet defiant, air scented with olive oil and ambition, textured like smooth stone underfoot. The gods meddle less, their voices softer, like radio signals fading in a storm, irony deepening beings eternal, yet rattled by change. Like old money dynasties watching startups steal their shine in modern America, the transition begins with Rome's ascent, adopting Greek gods but reshaping them. Zeus becomes Jupiter, draped in lawgiver's robes, his thunderbolt less wild, more imperial, like a senator's gavel in early America's halls. Hera transforms to Juno, her jealousy muted into civic duty. Athena softens into Minerva, wisdom tamed for Rome's order. You walk Rome's Capitoline hill, air crisp with laurel and stone dust. Visuals vivid, Jupiter's statue looms, toga-clad, eyes stern, temples gleam white under a relentless sun, their columns textured like ancient bones. The air shifts, less electric, more bureaucratic, a physical chill as divine passion cools into symbolism. Irony biting gods once walked battlefields. Now they're carved into coins, like American eagles stamped on dollars, power reduced to image. But it's Dionysus, the last Olympian, who stirs the deepest chill, his arrival shaking the pantheon's foundations. Born from Zeus and mortal Semele, his origin is absurd Zeus, tricked by Hera, reveals his divine form, burning Semele to ash. Her cries a sharp echo in your ears, air acrid with scorched flesh. He plucks unborn Dionysus, sewing him into his thigh, the air warm with blood and divine pulse, textured like taut skin under your phantom touch. Dionysus emerges twice born, a god of wine and madness, raised in far-off Nysa among nymphs and satyrs, his footsteps trailing vines, air heady with grape and ecstasy, like moonlit revels in Prohibition-era speakeasies, where forbidden joy defied law's grip. You follow him, immersed in his wild train, flutes trilling, drums pounding, a sensory struggle as wine's sweet tang fills your lungs, feet stumbling on uneven earth, textured like tangled roots. He's no throne-sitter, Dionysus wanders, bringing frenzy that blurs civilization's edge, a psychological chill as reason falters, like modern raves where control slips in a haze of rhythm. In Thebes, his mother's home, he returns disguised, stirring unrest with orgiastic rites. King Pentheus scorns him, arresting the god, but Dionysus lures him to the hills, disguised as a woman, where Maenads led by Agave. Pentheus's mother tear him limb from limb in a frenzy, blood's metallic scent thick, limbs scattered like broken branches, a shocking element that grips your heart with horror, empathy swelling for Agave's dawning grief, her son's head on a thyrsus, a sad mirror of mothers mourning in wartime America. Dionysus rules theatre and mystery, his festivals birthing Greek drama, masks hiding truths, air alive with torchlight and song, visuals vivid, actors on stage, their voices echoing in amphitheatres, shadows dancing like spectres. The Eleusinian mysteries unfold, reenacting Demeter and Persephone's descent and return, promising rebirth, the air cool with grain and hope, textured like soft wheat underfoot. Orphic cults whisper of Dionysus torn apart and reborn, a chill cycle of suffering and wisdom, like spiritual revivals in America's Great Awakening, blending old faiths with new promises. Academic debate rages. Did Dionysus's rites echo Eastern mystery cults, like Isis or Mithras, blending into Greek belief as America absorbed immigrant faiths, or were they purely Greek, a rebellion against Olympian order? Either way, it hints at a twist divinity mutating into something mortal touched, urging reflection on how your own beliefs evolve under pressure. Modern aside, Dionysus feels like a counterculture icon, his madness akin to 1960s hippies defying norms, irony in his divine chaos upending godly pomp, a chill thrill that gods reflect our own rebellions. But Rome's rise accelerates the fade. New gods Mithras born from stone, Isis draped in silks creep in, their altars warm with foreign incense, air scented with myrrh and spice, textured like woven tapestries. Christianity spreads, its singular god unseen, scorning idols, its hymns drowning out liars, a physical chill as temples cool. their marble cracking, ivy creeping over altars like nature reclaiming ghost towns in America's decline. By Theodosius's reign, pagan rites are outlawed, the Olympic Games silenced, a sad silence settling, empathy swelling for gods fading like forgotten stars, their power once thunderous now whispered in texts. You walk among crumbling shrines, air stale with dust and loss, torchlight fading into cold shadows, mutating from hope to elegy, a psychological chill as gods become stories, like American folklore preserved in libraries, not lived. Visuals haunt, statues stand weathered, Zeus's thunderbolt chipped, Hera's crown tilted, a strange image of a cross rising where altars stood, vines entwining broken columns like history's slow embrace. The Lethe motif evolves, forgetting worship to preserve myth, urging you to reflect on what legacies you hold dear, letting go of what no longer serves for sleep's peace. Irony deepens immortals fading under mortal faith, like influencers cancelled in a digital age, their relevance slipping as new voices rise. You ponder this ironic question. What belief in your life once unshakable has faded, and what new light fills its place share below? Let's unravel those quiet shifts. Empathy grows for the gods' silent retreat, their flaws so human. A chill calm settling as you reflect on change's inevitability, setting up the final legacy where myths endure beyond stone and altar. As the chill of fading gods settles over you, like the quiet hush of a once bustling town now left to dust and memory, you're steeped in empathy for the Olympians' slow retreat, their marble thrones crumbling under ivy's embrace. The irony lingers, divine immortals reduced to stories, like fallen tycoons of America's Gilded Age, their legacies preserved not in power, but in whispers of art and lore. Now, you're drawn into the final chapter, the legacy of Greek mythology, where myths endure not as worship, but as mirrors of human struggle, resilience, and hope. Feel the shift. The air softens, textured like worn pages of an old book under your fingers, scented with ink and time, as the Lethe motif mutates one last time, forgetting divine rule to embrace timeless lessons, urging a deep reflection on what stories in your own life triumphs. Failures persist to guide you, easing you into a peaceful sleep under the stars. You're standing in a vast library now, immersed in a world where myths live on, not in temples but in scrolls and canvases. The air warm with the musty scent of parchment, like dusty archives in colonial America preserving tales of revolution. The gods are gone, their altars cold, yet their stories pulse around you, shelves towering with ancient texts. Homer, Hesiod, Sophocles copied by monks in flickering candlelight, their quills scratching softly, a sensory comfort that wraps you like a blanket. You trace the spines, their leather textured and cracked, feeling the weight of centuries, a physical warmth easing the psychological chill of divine absence. Empathy swells for these tales, preserved through time's grind, like oral histories of Native Americans or early settlers, carried forward despite conquest and change. The Renaissance breathes new life, and you're swept to Florence's vibrant courts, air alive with paint and ambition, smelling of turpentine and fresh plaster, like workshops crafting America's first monuments. Artists revive the gods. Aphrodite rises from Botticelli's seashell, her form luminous, hair flowing like waves, textured silky under your imagined touch. Apollo's bow gleams in Michelangelo's marble, his muscles taut, air crisp with stone dust. Visuals flare, canvases glow with divine light. Statues stand proud in sunlit piazzas, their shadows long and poetic. A strange image of gods reborn not as deities but as art, mutating from worship to archetype, urging you to reflect on how beauty endures beyond belief. Irony deepens as the Enlightenment dissects these myths. Scholars like Voltaire seeing allegories, not truths, their pens sharp as scalpels, the air scented with coffee and debate, like revolutionary salons in Boston or Philadelphia. You sit among them, pages turning with a soft rustle, feeling a psychological chill, gods reduced to metaphors, like American eagles symbolizing freedom, not gods. Goethe finds in Oedipus and Antigone mirrors of the soul, their tragedies a chill echo of human striving, empathy emerging for their timeless pain, like families facing loss in the Great Depression, clinging to stories for meaning. Modern aside, it's akin to today's obsession with archetype superheroes in Marvel films, flawed like Zeus or Heracles, reflecting our own struggles in blockbuster guise. Irony in how ancient tales shape modern dreams. The Romantic era pulls you deeper, air heavy with emotion and ink, poets weaving Oedipus's blindness or Orpheus's loss into questions of fate and love, their words textured like velvet grief on your tongue. You feel their passion, a sensory struggle as quills scratch late into the night, candle wax dripping, smelling of melted hope. Visual zoom-out poetic moonlit cliffs echo with Orpheus's lyre, a lone figure mourning, his song a faint thread weaving through time, like folk ballads sung in America's heartland, carrying pain into eternity. Academic debate stirs. Did these myths shape Western thought, or were they reshaped by it? Like America's folklore blending native and European roots into something new. Either way, it hints at a final twist. Myths endure not by divine decree but by human need. A chill reflection on what stories you hold to make sense of your world. The modern age dawns, and you're immersed in a kaleidoscope of retellings. Jung sees gods as archetypes in the mind. Zeus's thunder a spark of ambition. Hera's jealousy a shadow of insecurity. Their presence a psychological warmth in your thoughts. Like self-help books decoding your dreams. James Joyce weaves Ulysses into Dublin streets. Air thick with city smoke and stout, textured like cobblestone underfoot. Rick Riordan reimagines gods for kids. Percy Jackson battling in Manhattan, his sword flashing like Perseus's, a vivid visual that makes you smile, empathy for youth finding heroes in ancient tales, like comic books inspiring hope in post-war America. Shocking element, myths mutate into pop culture. Zeus as a CEO in a graphic novel, Athena a hacker in a sci-fi flick irony in their fall from altars to screens, yet enduring. Like American legends of Davy Crockett retold in Hollywood's glow. You walk through a museum now, air-cool with marble and time, statues of Athena and Apollo chipped but proud, their eyes hollow yet alive, a sad beauty tugging your heart, like visiting Civil War memorials where stone soldiers stand silent. The air shifts, scented with wax and reverence, as you reflect on myths as frameworks explaining love's chaos, death's finality, resilience's spark. The Lethe motif completes, forgetting God's power to embrace their lessons. A chill calm settling as you ponder what stories in your life family tales. Personal quests persist like these, guiding you through darkness. Empathy deepens for humanity's need to tell, retell, reshape. You feel the sensory warmth of a book in your hands, pages soft and worn, like diaries passed down through generations, each story a torchlight mutating from divine command to human hope. Modern comparison. Myths are like America's founding myths, flawed, messy, yet inspiring, like the Declaration's ideals enduring despite contradictions. Academic uncertainty lingers. Do myths reflect universal truths? Or are they cultural mirrors, like America's melting pot weaving diverse threads into one narrative? Either way, they endure, urging you to ask this ironic question. What story in your life feels mythic, epic, flawed, eternal, and how does it shape your dreams? Share below. Let's weave those tales into the night. The gods may have left Olympus, their thunder silent, but they walk in your stories, your art, your struggles. You stand under a starry sky now, air crisp with night's embrace, textured like soft wool wrapping you warm. Visual zoom out poetic. The heavens stretch vast, stars twinkling like ancient eyes, a strange image of crumbled temples glowing in moonlight, myths whispering eternal in the wind, a final chill, peace settling as you reflect life's cycles, birth, betrayal. Resilience mirror these tales, easing you towards sleep with insight's gentle hum. As you dim your lights, feel the Lethe's waters lap at your mind, forgetting day's chaos to embrace night's lessons. The gods are gone, but their truths linger in you, a warm reflection that carries you to rest, ready for dreams where heroes and gods still roam, as the stars above flicker like ancient eyes, their faint glow weaving myths into your dreams. You're left cradling a deep empathy for the gods and heroes whose stories flawed, fierce, eternal mirror your own struggles and hopes. The irony settles softly now, those divine dramas fading like old songs, yet their lessons hum in your bones. A warm reflection of resilience through chaos, much like America's underdogs rising from frontier hardships or depression shadows. You're back in your own space, the air gentle with night's quiet, textured like a soft blanket wrapping you tight, scented with the faint calm of lavender or candle wax, easing the chill of ancient betrayals into peace. Feel the weight of those tales, Chaos's void, Cronus's paranoia, Heracles' labours, Troy's fall slipping away, the Lethe's waters lapping gently at your mind, mutating from divine strife to a soothing invitation. Forget the day's clutter, the small battles, the lingering doubts. You're lying back now, the hum of a fan or distant crickets a steady rhythm, grounding you like the earth under Gaia's first breath. Visuals soften, crumbled temples glow faintly under moonlight, their stones whispering of cycles' birth, ruin, rebirth like seasons turning in your own life. A poetic arc that cradles you toward rest. Reflect one last time these myths, born in fire and blood, endure not in altars but in you in the way you fight. Love, fail, rise. What story will you carry into sleep tonight? A spark of defiance or a thread of hope? Let it glow, small but steady, like a lone torch in a vast night. The gods are silent now, but their truths linger, easing you into a calm where empathy and peace intertwine. A final gift from a world long gone. Breathe deep, let the stars fade, and drift into dreams where your own myths wait to unfold.